All right, what's going on, everyone? It's the end of the year. Just got back from my last comp of the year yesterday. It was River Hill Fall 2025 or Winter 2025, something like that. But so I'm done competing for the year, so might as well just make the video going over my goals for next year, along with what I achieved this year, and I'll throw in my main cubes as well and some other stuff, I guess. So let's get right into it. All right, starting off with 3x3, the cubes that I have used and am using are Tornado V3. I think this is like probably my definitive main cube. I also have the Huameng YS3, which is very good, and I think I competed with as well. I pretty much get the same times in these two. This might be a little bit better. And in the Huameng TG, which feels really nice, but honestly isn't that much of a good cube, so I don't really use it as much. But these two, I think, are the main cubes that I will use. Probably won't buy any new 3x3s. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Anyway, this year I got one PR, which was a single. I think I got a 655, which is down from like 660 or something like that. It's not a big PR. Um, I feel like the scramble wasn't that great for that PR, so it was kind of not a fluke, but like I didn't really expect to break into that solve, I guess. Anyway, I didn't expect to break PR average. 802 was very good from last year. So one PR this year is enough for me, I guess. My goal for 2025 was to podium, which I didn't. I think I got fourth a couple times again, but I forget. Next year, I want to get a sub 8 average and podium as well. I've been practicing a lot of 3x3 lately. I think sub 8 average is definitely in the bag. I wouldn't rule it out of the realm of possibilities for next year, so maybe I'll practice more 3x3 if I have time to. But maybe I'll podium if I go to like a random comp in the middle of Pennsylvania who has no one else that goes to it or something. But I'll probably just get a high 9 average and miss out on the opportunity again. Whatever. Let's move on to 2x2. Alright, 2x2, I used the same cube from last year, just again 251 Pro. I have no need to buy any other 2x2s. This is just as good as it gets in the market, I think. Mine feels pretty good for me as well. Like, I don't really get many lockups or things that make me decide that my 2x2 needs to be improved, so works well for me. I got one PR for the year, and it was beating my goal from last year, which was getting a sub 2 average. I did it at Worlds. It was a 186 average. Of course, I didn't film it. Likewise with Mega Mix, which I'll talk about later, which I kind of regret, but whatever. I got the result, so yeah, 186 average. I'm very happy with that. Um, Scrambles were very nice. I counted like a mid two, but whatever. Happy with that. I got two podiums. One of them was a win, which is also pretty cool. I think that was on my goals as well to podium in 2x2, but I forget. So pretty happy with my 2x2 results for this year. Um, Next year I want to get more comfortable with EG1. Or I said I want to get 100% comfortable with the EG1 if I decide to do more 2x2. This includes learning the best algorithms. I feel like some of my algs and finger checks aren't that great and probably some improvement. And I want to learn how to do full AUF prediction. I think I said that last year too, but maybe I'll continue it this year. I don't know. It'd be nice to get a sub one single and or another PR average, but both of those probably won't really happen. The best average I can probably expect to get in comp is like a 1.5, but yeah, unless I like really lock in an EG1 and one looking, it probably won't happen. So I'm not expecting much from 2x2 next year. Alrighty, 4x4, I use the PyCube Aosu V7. I think is what it is, the V7. I forget, but it's really good. I got it right after Mid-Atlantic Champs, which probably is like the reason why I did more 4x4. I got three PR average 3 times this year. They're all at the River Hill High School too, which is funny. I just got back from a comp this weekend there, and I got PR average twice. Dropped it from in 2023. That was my old PR. It was like 38.2 at Mid Atlantic Champs that year, and River Hill this year I got like a 37 something average, which was pretty good for me, I think. Then sometime later this fall or later this summer or something, I did more 4x4. Around Bloomsburg, I expected to get like a 36 or something average, but I didn't. And then River Hill, I practiced a lot coming up to it. Uh, got a 36 average in round one, which I wasn't happy with, but it was PR. And a 35 average in finals, which I also was not fully happy with. I counted the 41 and two 32s. It was just 32, 32, 41, 41, 32. So I don't know what to think about it, but whatever. I didn't have any goals for this year, so I'm pretty satisfied with my results. I don't really have any goals for next year. Just to improve. And yeah, I think that's it for 4x4. 5x5, I got the GAN 562. I got this at Worlds. Shout out to Kat for being staff and not having to wait in line and get it for a discount for me. So that's probably the reason I got so many PRs this year. I got 8 PRs in 5x5 this year. I lowered my average by 10 seconds, went from I think 119 to 109. Practice really paid off, which, yeah, I guess that showed. Did pretty well. I feel like I can do better. 5x5 is my worst big cube. 6x6 and 7x7 are a lot more fun to me right now. I use Redux in all of them, so that could be part of the reason. My goal for 2025 was to lower my PR, which happened many times. My goal for next year, I will at least get a sub 1 single. I only have like 3 or 4 at home right now, but if I do more 6 and 7, maybe I can get better at 5 just from that. But if not, maybe I'll just have to practice more of it. Sub 1 average could be doable but I'll probably be more focused on 6x6 and 7x7. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how 5x5 goes. I'm not too concerned about it as opposed to the other big cubes, like I've said 30,000 times already. But let's move on to those ones now. All right, 6x6. I use the Aoshi worm. Yeah, the new Moyu big cubes didn't come out until later this year, and this thing is really good already. I might get the new one. Also, same with 7x7, I might get the new Alfu, but probably not. I mean, we'll see. I'll try some and see if it's really worth that much of an upgrade. It's like over $100 in cubes or something, so maybe with enough gift card money I will. We'll see again. I got 8 really good PRs this year for 6x6. Let's see. I think last year my PRs were like 215 single and like 223 mean or something, but now I have a 153 single, which is very good for me. However, I am getting much faster at 6x6, so I really beat it. But I have a 204 mean, which is also very good for me. It was like 3 PR singles in a row at Mid-Atlantic Champs, but my goal for this year was overall PBs and sub 2 single. Of course, didn't get overall PBs in comp necessarily. I got a lot of overall PBs at home. Like, I'm still easily able to roll PB average of 50s and 100s and whatever. But yeah, the sub 2 single happened. 153 is kind of nuts for me. I'm glad I got that. Next year, sub 2 mean is very easy. Sub 150 should be really doable as well. So, yeah, next year is my year for big cubes, I guess. Alright, 7x7, I used the Alfu worm. Yeah, just the good Moyu 7x7 that's been out for however many years. Funny enough, same as last year. I talked about overlooping this last year, like the triple layers were really slow, and that's the same case this year. Like, I just put a bunch of 30k in it recently, so it's still like, it needs to be broken in. But whatever. Anyway, 7x7 I enjoyed a lot, which I didn't expect to. I don't even think I had any goals for this year. Yeah, I didn't have any goals for this year, and I blew my non-existent expectations out of the water. It's maybe my first or second favorite event. It's between this and Megaminx, I think. I doubled my amount of 7x7 results. Before this year, I competed in 7 rounds, but this year I competed in 8 rounds alone. It was a lot of fun. I lowered my PR single by 40 seconds. That's down to 310, and PR mean is like dropped by 30 seconds ish. I think it's like 325 or something. Which those results are still very bad for me. I can easily get a sub 3 mean and sub 250 single. 245 single can be done as well, I think. But yeah, that's 7x7. I'm having a lot of fun with this event, so we'll take this one pretty far. Alright, now for blind, doesn't really matter what cube, honestly. I'll use this Tornado. Sometimes I use the YS3 or... it doesn't really matter what cube. But I did buy a blindfold, which is like low-key not even a goal, but I didn't expect to, so I don't know. This year, I got one official success at Southeast Champs. It wasn't PR, it was like a 320 or 330 something. I didn't really practice much anyway. I got a sub 2 single on home. My PB is like 156. I probably won't practice again, but it would be fun too, I think. My goal for this year was to get a sub 2 single and mean, or a sub 2 single and get a mean, which I didn't do either. And my goal next year is to, if I practice, just PR, but I probably won't practice. I don't know, we'll see though. We'll see how much time I have and what happens. Alright, FMC. I'm not even going to put any cubes out because it's FMC. It literally doesn't matter what cubes you use. I competed twice and I had a lot of fun with it. My times warming up, or like my periods of time warming up for FMC was some of the most fun cubing I think I had this year, maybe. I don't really know. I haven't done an FMC attempt since before Mid Atlantic Quiet Champs in like May, so it's been a little while. Um, Almost very happy with all my results. I got a 25 single, which is my only sub 30 I ever have gotten. It was a really stupid solution. It was pretty good. It was like a 16 move skeleton into a 9 move insertion or cancel, whatever. I did DNF that round, which is pretty sad, but 25 single and 35 mean are my PRs. Pretty happy with those. My goals for this year were get a mean, which I did, learn NIS and get sub 40, which I also did. My goal for next year, I want to PR mean, probably Mid Atlantic Quiet Champs, because who knows how many comps there's going to be next year. We're in a comp drought right now. My next comp is King of Prussia in March, and this is December as of recording, so it's not a lot going on. Maybe get better at using insertions too. That's something I struggled with last year. I wanted to learn it, but I didn't really work on it that much. One-handed this year, I didn't get any PRs in, which is fair because I didn't really practice it. I was somewhat into it last year, but this year I didn't really enjoy it that much. I think I did more big cubes and Megaminx. I'll use this Tornado V3. I don't know. This or like a Waylong V9 that I have that I don't really feel like getting out right now. Or like the YS3. I get pretty good times in all of them. My goal for this year, 2025, was to podium, which I did. And next year, I don't know, it'd be cool if I get a podium at a Central PA comp or like a small comp. I feel like one hand is one of those events where I don't really practice sometimes, and then I'll get like a 15 average in comp and be pretty happy with it. So yeah, that's about it for one-handed. All right, clock. Yeah, same thing. I just use a Chi clock. I mean, it's the only clock that's like competition viable right now. Heard Shangxia made a good one, but there's no reason to get another clock for me, to be honest. I got PR single at Worlds. It was like 574 or something like that, like 5.7 or 5.8 or something. It's really good for me, and it's PB3. I DNF'd another 5 in that average, which is kind of sad. I think I had a counting 6.9 as well, so that could have been like a sub 7 average. I don't know. I forget what the other DNF in that average was, but I don't know. It kind of shows that I feel like if I practice clock and like put time into it, not even doing 7 simul, by the way. I tried learning it and it didn't really work. So I'll stick with the flip or Pachman or whatever method it is. I think it shows that I can get somewhat decent at it. Yeah, I got PR average with minimal practice. It went from 749 to like 744, so micro PR, but whatever. My goal for this year, I didn't care. My goal for next year, I care a little bit more, but still, I don't really care. So PR would be cool, but it doesn't really matter. All right, now on to the good stuff. We got Megaminx, the best event. Maybe the second best event because I enjoyed 7x7 a lot this year. But this year for Megaminx, I got 5 really good PRs, which I was very happy with. Of course, that's not, I didn't get the sheer amount of PRs as I did last year, but I didn't improve as much, but my improvements were, I think, more significant this year, maybe. Or at least they meant more to me. Like, last year I finished with a 37.5 average, which was my first top 100 result. I had like a 34 single. Those are both pretty good for me, but like they weren't anything crazy or blowing me out of the water or anything, or I don't know why I use that terminology, but whatever. They weren't that insane for me, but then I started this year, I think my first Megaminx round of 2025, I got a 33.6 and a 36.3 single, so that was already a phenomenal start. Broke PR average by over a second. It was like WR74, I think, which was very good for me. Then, let's see, it was maybe April or May, I got a 32 single, which got me my state record single and top 100 for single as well. I was pretty happy with that. Again, that wasn't a crazy single, but it was still a pretty good single for me. Then at that point, I was averaging probably right around my PR. My PR was 36.3, of course, and I was getting 36 averages on a pretty regular basis, which I was happy with. I think coming up to like Southeast Champs or Worlds, I was pretty confident in being able to PR. Then after it, I got a 30, excuse me. Then I got my 29 single and 34 average, 29.74 and 34.83. These are easily my biggest cubing accomplishments ever. I didn't think I would ever get a sub 30 single, and that was like one of my fastest, maybe like one of my 5 or 10 fastest solves ever as well. So I'm still in disbelief of that. Kind of have imposter syndrome from it too, to be honest. Um, yeah, it's kind of crazy. It was 10th in the US at the time, peaked at world rank 46 for single and 59 for average. I passed the Mid-Atlantic champion torch to Matt Leung. Very proud of him. He's extremely deserving. He's one of the most improved. I think he's one of the most improved Megamix solvers in the world. He went from like a minute to low 30s in not even a year. So yeah, I'm really happy to see him do that. He's very deserving, very dedicated solver, and yeah. Anyway, 2025 goal. That was a lot of rambling there. 2025 goal. I got or I wanted to get a sub 35 average, which happened. And I said a sub 30 single would be really cool, but it probably won't happen. But I got it. Yeah, I didn't expect to get that. I also wanted to get Worlds Finals, which didn't happen. But that's all right. I didn't really expect to be honest. It was like a 32 average. I got it in. 2026 for next year, I'm very capable of getting a 33 average, but that, at least for now, I think is where I can top out. Maybe I'll get a 32 average if I really like practice more, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't have a whole lot of time to cube anymore, so. Next year, I also will make Nats finals and I will win Great Lakes champs. Mark my words, that will happen. And I just want to beat Matt Leung in at least one round. Yeah, I think that's it for Megamix. That's the bulk of the video for sure. Yeah, very passionate about this event. This is the only event that I really focus on the most. Like, the only event that I really care about as much as I think I can. So, yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Pyramix was also one of my most improved events and one of the events I enjoyed the most this year. Before this year, I competed in Pyramix in 7 rounds, with my first being in 2016. So that's like not even around a year. But this year, I competed 18 times and broke my PR 10 times. It was one of my most enjoyed events this year. I got to finish the year with like a 2.8 single and a 3.7 average or something. My goal for this year was to average 5, which is, I would say, done. I mean, my last my two averages this weekend at River Hill were like 3.9 and 4.2. So, yep, I think that's done. I learned L4E, which is another goal. Next year, I'm going to break both PRs again, and I think I can get a sub 2.5 single, but single is not that important to me, to be honest. I don't know. I just want to have more fun with it. It's a pretty fun event. To move on. Also, forgot to mention for Pyramix, this is just the Moe Whalong Pyramix. It has a, I forget what size, there it is. It has a loose magnet, which I don't really know how to fix it. I think it's one of these magnets, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much. Maybe I'll fix it. It's a good Pyramix. I don't even think I said my Megamix main either. It's the GAN, if it wasn't obvious already. And I got this cool little logo on it, like the old GAN logo, which I just thought was a cool little touch. Yeah, that's it for those two. Alright, Scube. I don't really care about this event at all. I got one PR, which was single. It's like a 282, which is like pretty good for me, but I don't practice. Maybe I'll learn Sarah's advanced. Probably not. That's not a goal. I'm just saying that because I thought of it yesterday at the comp. My goal for this year was to care enough to compete, which I did. However, only for the first half of the year. I don't think I competed in Scube. I didn't compete in Scube yesterday, even though I signed up for it. Probably did that at some other comps too, but yeah, Scube didn't really mean anything to me this year. Next year I have no goals. I probably won't even compete in Scube at all. I won't be surprised if that happens. I won't be disappointed if that happens. That's it for Scube. And for Square One, I have the Isaacs MGC. I don't think this is my main. I have the Angstrom as well. This one's a little too fast. But whatever. I don't really compete in Square One that much anymore. I just said in my notes it's a nothing burger event now. Like 3 years ago was my main event, and I got my first podium in it too, so. But those days are well beyond me. I had no goals for 2025. And my only goal for 2026 is not a goal for me, but is to watch Hassan Kanani break world record average. Hassan, you're probably not watching, but if you are, you got it. I'll watch you break your world record average. And just a general recap of this year. 2025 wasn't as much of a fun cubing year as last year was. 2024 was Probably the best year for cubing that I've ever had. I made a lot of good experiences, a lot of good memories, a lot of good PRs too. Really focused on Megaminx last year too, which I think was very meaningful to me. This year I did as well, but I didn't get as many PRs as again. Those PRs were more meaningful to me. I think this year, like they were more significant. Um, but in terms of stuff this year, Southeast Champs was a lot of fun. So going to new regions, I think Southeast was really the only new region I went to, unless you count Worlds. But Worlds was Worlds, so like you're gonna see everyone from across the world there anyway. But it was great to go to Southeast Champs. That was definitely my favorite comp that I've ever been to. Just had a great time hanging out with friends, going to a new place, new experiences, all that good stuff. Um, After Southeast Champs and Worlds, I feel like cubing kind of not fell off, but I don't know, it just didn't feel the same. I guess half of it was like all my friends going to college, so Ian Martinson, Eric Zoo, if you guys are watching, we miss you. We hope you come back to Mid Atlantic comps. Um, yeah, there wasn't as many comps at the end of the year as there was last year. But other than that, the great comps this year were a lot of fun. It was funny to have Mid Atlantic champs 10 minutes away from me. That was another cool one. Not the best comp, but it's cool to have people come to this region and be able to compete so close to home and see my friends come up as well. Flying to a comp was on my bucket list, and I did it. I flew to Axeman Fall 2025. Axeman or Axeman, however you want to say it. That was one of the most. That was one of my most proud experiences ever. I think I'll put some pictures of that on the screen, but that was a lot of fun. I want to do it again next year. Glad the conditions allowed for it. Weather was like perfect that day, so it was able to happen. Next year, I plan to get in my instrument rating for those who know about flying. If not, instrument rating pretty much just lets you fly like in the clouds or low visibility, so that'll enable me to go to further comps easier without having to like pray that the weather's going to be perfect. So there's these comps in Dunkirk, New York that I've been wanting to go to. There's an airport out there. Maybe I'll fly up there. Other than that, I don't know. I want to fly to other comps next year. Hopefully, at least one comp I'll fly to next year. Whether it's gonna be like Bloomsburg, State College, maybe something further. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to make that happen again. I started doing free Megaminx coaching. I think it's very important that coaching is free, especially because at least how I do it, and I think it goes for everyone else. But there's nothing to be kept behind a paywall for cubing. There's nothing that costs anything to provide for coaching. So I think we should all work together, provide for the cubing community, keep things new competitor friendly, and keep stuff accessible for everybody. So coaching, that's why I did free coaching for the most part. Really glad I could help people improve. Zachariah especially, he broke Maryland state record I think 4 times this year, and it was like back-to-back weekends. He improved a lot. He has a 40 single, which I'm very proud of him for. Zachy, you're killing it, man. You're gonna go places too. It's good to see you improve this much. So hopefully I can work with some other people too this year for Megaminx, or for next year for Megaminx. I think I have like 7 or 8 clients right now, which I'm pretty proud of as well. I really like to help out to the community and give back and all that sort of thing. My goals for this year were to organize more comps and compete in new regions. I organized one King of Prussia comp, and the end of this year, I've started plans on 2 other comps for next year. King of Prussia Spring 2025 or 2026 is announced. Registration opens at 7 tonight on the day of recording this. Come out to that. I also have a comp I'm working on in Cape May, New Jersey. I think it's going to be June 20th and 21st, whatever that weekend is. It's not on the WCA yet, but we should be able to get that up soon at some point. We're in no rush to. It's like still 6 months out, but that will be up. I might do a 2-day King of Prussia comp. Maybe I'll do other comps around, maybe smaller comps, bigger comps. I don't know. As far as competing new regions, yeah, I said Southeast Champs, which I did. Great Lakes Champs was a maybe. I'm gonna go to that next year for sure. But yeah, I think that's all my goals for next year. Also, just to Yeah, compete in new regions, meet new people, have more fun experiences, enjoy more of cubing, all that good stuff. But this was a long video for this year. I feel like I really just put a lot into it. Also, kind of yapped too much, but whatever. We'll end it there. Yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys all next year.